Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC and your daily reminder that the Reds are Premier League champions. How are we all? On what is, I must say, a gorgeous sunny Thursday. A very good day to be a Red because Liverpool have announced the official signing of Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth for a fee rising to 40 million. Now, we don't have exact numbers as yet, but that seems to be a pretty good deal. The 50 million that was been floated about was significantly too much. 30 to 35 was kind of the sweet spot. If we're paying 35 and maybe some add-ons, I think that's a really good deal. If it's 36, 37, you're not going to quibble. But we're getting a 21-year-old who doesn't turn 22 till November, has already completed 2 seasons in the Premier League, had a full season in the Eredivisie before that, has played in and around 150 senior games. Now, admittedly, 18 or so of them came for a team at the second tier in Hungary, but games are games. And he still was playing against men at a very young age. So we know he's not going to have any issues from a physical point of view. If you look at his last 3 seasons, AZ Alkmaar, 52 games. Moves to Bournemouth, plays 33, but doesn't get any injuries. It's simply a matter of he's a young player and Bournemouth are trying to protect him. And then last season, he plays 41 games in all competitions, all 38 league games. Very, very impressive. He's also racked up 23 international caps already. The Athletic had him in their team of the season this past year for what that's worth. He's had a bit of a journeyman career thus far. Like, he begins with OFK Verbus as a kid. Then he moves to Rapid Vienna in Austria, spends 5 years in their academy, moves back to Hungary with a team whose name I won't even try and pronounce. Then he plays for Győr. He's in their academy for a year. Then he plays for their first team for a season in the Hungarian Second League. And then he gets signed by AC Milan at the request of Paolo Maldini. When the greatest left-back of all time has a look at you and thinks, yeah, you're pretty good, that's a really good sign. Remember as well, this is 2021. AC Milan have Theo Hernandez. At that time, arguably the best left-back in the world. A player AC Milan did not think they'd be able to keep hold of long-term. So they were signing Kerkez as the Theo Hernandez successor. Now, for whatever reason, he just didn't settle there. He didn't get the opportunities. So it's a little bit of an odd situation where he spends less than a year there. He moves to Alkmaar, doesn't really play, plays 5 games in the back half of the season, plays a bit more with their youth team. But then in 2022, he becomes first choice left back and is just outstanding for them. And that was sort of the point where I brought him up on a transfer committee pod as like a Robbo successor to come in. We didn't move for him. He goes to Bournemouth. Bournemouth paid, I want to say they paid around 14 or 15 million from it. Could have been a little bit more. He chose Bournemouth apparently over Benfica because he saw a clearer path and he wanted to play in the Premier League. But he's been outstanding since coming to the Premier League. 1 red card. That's the only reason he's really missed games, is that he got a 3-match suspension. And that was obviously in his first season. This season he's had a really strong year. He has work to do. He's got a lot of improvement to look at, especially on the defensive side. But at 21, like the ceiling is sky high. we could get 10 years out of this kid at left back, which is a really, really promising thing for us. This is us boxing off a position long term. Endless energy, powerful, absolutely fearless, quality on the ball. This is a good signing. And I've said I think Wirtz will play from the left. Now, it'll be a narrow left. He's not going to hug the touchline. But that would allow Kerkez to just completely dominate that flank, which he has the physicality, he has the pace, he has the power to do. And he's very robust, which is, again, something we always look at. So, this is summer signing number 5, if we count Mamardashvili. Mamardashvili in, Frimpong in, Wirtz in, Pesci in, and now Kerkez. It's still June. There's 2 months left in the transfer window. John Henry must have gotten the good lovin' from Linda, because what is this that we're seeing? Money being thrown around, but being thrown around by the right people, by Michael Edwards, by Richard Hughes, both of whom answering all of the criticism that was levelled at them last summer, by silly people who didn't seem to realise how big of a mess they inherited, because Jurgen had been trying to run the show without a real sporting director. We'd brought Jörg Schmatke on board. He was living in Ibiza and phoning it in. There was nobody running the day-to-day at Liverpool, nobody making the decisions. There was a lot of positions that needed to be filled because some of the staff went to Red Bull Salzburg with Linders. Some went to join Stevie G in Saudi. It didn't work out for any of those people because Linders got sacked, Stevie got sacked. So, unfortunately for them, they're probably having to start over, but we're not having to start over. The bones of what Jurgen left behind in terms of the playing staff were good. There was a lot of work needed on the structure, but the playing staff was in pretty good shape. Obviously, that was shown by the fact that we just won the Premier League title, and now we're just adding to it. And it looks like there's going to be one more in quite quick succession. Marc Guehi looks like a deal that is going to happen. Dave O.C. Kopp with an exclusive today that we are moving towards a deal for him. I know some people like to take the piss out of Dave a little bit, but the fella had many, many correct exclusives over the past year, including he was all over the Bobby Clark deal, the Besetic deal, and stuff like that. So he's been very, very consistent on Marc Guehi. He was the one that broke the news that we were in talks with his people back in March, I want to say. And today he has an exclusive. Liverpool closing in on deal for Marc Guehi. Dave C. Kopp can exclusively reveal that Liverpool are closing in on a deal. Flurry of activity, talk about Kerkez, and now we are ready to accelerate negotiations with Crystal Palace after Joel Quance's move becomes official. I think they might be waiting until July 1st for that one to become official, but as far as I'm aware, everything is basically signed, sealed, and delivered. Marc Guehi is really good. He's really, really good. If he's our third centre-back, we've already got the 2 best individual centre-backs and the best centre-back pairing in the league. If we get him, he's the best third centre-back anyone in the league has got. And that likely leaves Joe as the 4th choice, and then either a Maranello or Welity Lucky as the 5th and 6th choices. That's a pretty strong position for us to be in. That's a pretty strong position to be in. Guehi's a really good player. He's the type of player that just improves teams. Now, he doesn't improve our starting 11, but he absolutely improves our squad. He's a significantly better defender than Jarell Quansah is at this point. He's a significantly better centre-back than Joe Gomez is at this point. And he's also another player with a pretty strong injury record. Now, I know he did miss some time last season. He missed 4 games. But aside from that, he has been pretty bulletproof. He's not the biggest, and that's the one concern I do have. He's a flat 6 foot. We normally sign centre-backs who are 6'3", 6'4". But he is strong, he's quick, he's excellent on the ball, he's got great positional sense, and he's one that hasn't had it easy. He hasn't had the clear path. He joins Chelsea at the age of 7 and spends 12 years in their academy, but doesn't get any opportunities with the first team. For whatever reason, Chelsea just decided he wasn't the one. He played a couple of League Cup games, but nothing beyond that. So he goes on loan to Swansea, has a really good half of a season, stays there the following year, and was absolutely outstanding as Swansea made the playoffs. They didn't go up. Chelsea decided they didn't want him back, and he turned down a number of other moves to go to Crystal Palace because they were guaranteeing him first-team football. So he's been there 4 years now. 36 games, 37 games, 25 games. He did have, was it an ankle injury last season? Not last season, the season before. Oh, a knee injury. And then this past season, 34 games, I believe it was. But 45 in all competitions. Obviously, absolutely vital in helping Palace win the FA Cup, despite the fact he got the concussion in the final. Natural leader, great positional sense. Again, he's not tall, but he's competitive in the air in that he uses his body really well and he gets underneath strikers and sort of levers them out of the way. I really do like the player. I could also see him filling in at right back if we wanted a more defensive look there. Now, we'll have Joe that can do that too. He's also played a little bit as a defensive midfielder. That's something, I think he's only started like maybe twice there, but he has moved there in game. So that's maybe another look that we have as well. So I'd be very, very happy if he's the signing at centre-back. I know there's been some talk of Jarell Hatto and Costello Lakeba and Jared Branthwaite. I kind of feel like the big money centre-back, Virgil successor type might be one for maybe next summer. Marc Guehi, though, is the type of player if you can get him for under 40 million, it really is a no-brainer. I mean, last summer, Newcastle were offering 60. I think Spurs offered 55 plus another 5 in add-ons in January. So, for us to get him, if it's 40 or even below that, it's just really good business. Really, really good business. 24 years of age, turns 25 in July, so you'd imagine his best years are ahead of him, but he already has plenty of experience. 59 games for Swansea, 155 for Crystal Palace. He's become an England regular starter. He has 23 caps now. So, yeah, absolutely. And he's another one who's just got that winning gene. I think he's the type of player that if he comes to us, will be motivated to win trophies. And I think we know Ibu has injury issues. And we know Virgil is going to turn 34, or may already have turned 34. You're going to want to play him a little bit less moving forward to extend his career. I don't want Virgil leaving in 2 years. I don't want Virgil leaving in 3 years. I'd like him to play another 4 years for us. But to do that, we have to manage him. And I think if we can line up Ibu and Virgil, Guéhi and Virgil, Konate and Virgil, or Konate and Guéhi rather, that's really strong. Pick and choose the games. We saw against Brighton, and I wonder if this was a game that kind of made the decision on Quansah, where the Ibu-Quansah pairing, there's just not enough leadership in there. But I think Guéhi's the type who talks players through games, can play both sides, so I think he'd be comfortable coming in, starting next to Ibu, and I think that could help Konate maintain a more consistent focus. I really think we could get him 30-35 starts across all competitions. Because I'd like to see Virgil start no more than 30 Premier League games. Don't want to see him in the cups. Same with Ibu.
Reds, it's Jack here, and that was a clip from one of Anfield Index's audio podcasts. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you do like, share and subscribe to keep up to date on all things LFC. We record around 100 audio podcasts every month, with our shows featuring match-going fans, top journalists, professional analysts and even Liverpool legends along the way, with the great Dane himself, Jan Molby, joining us every single week. If you want to listen to all our podcasts for free, head over to anfieldindex.com/podcasts. Our audio shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Anfield Index. Or if you prefer to listen to all our podcasts in full and without any ads, why not head over to AI Pro today to check it out now at anfieldindexpro.com. If you want to get involved in the great growing community of Liverpool fans, check out the Anfield Index Discord. The link is in the description. Do get involved with that, from Reds around every corner of the globe. For now, Reds, hope you enjoyed this video.